Hey, welcome back to her Restored Spirit podcast. My name is Tammy, and I'm going to dive in today. This is a subject that I have been, it's something that I've been contemplating, something that I have been working through, something that some questions that I have for myself that I thought I would share with you, because my guess is you have some of these same questions. It goes along with, why do we do what we do? But why do we make plans to do something and then get sidetracked or not complete? Basically, we don't have integrity to ourselves. We don't keep our own promises to ourselves. If I know anything about you, I know that you work really hard to teach your kids that your word is your bond. I know that you work really hard to do the things that you say need to be done and are going to be done. Right? You do. You work really hard. And when it comes to keeping your word to yourself, it's something you kind of built a habit of inconsistency or a habit of it doesn't matter. And with that, let me move this thing back over here. And with that, we just prove to ourselves over and over. We kind of say, well, we'll do it later. You're not, it's not something that you're, let me just flat out say it. Instead of trying to make it all shiny and pretty and make it so you can relate, it's basically telling ourselves that we don't matter. Basically telling ourselves that we're not worthy of what we say we want, what we say we deserve, that we're not worthy to actually have the life that we want. We reinforce this by putting something on our calendar and then crossing off, putting on our to-do list and then moving it over to tomorrow, putting it on our wish list of, you know what, I really want to start doing this. I want to spend more time with my kids. And then the time comes and let's face it, you're exhausted or something gets in the way. You are on your phone instead of connecting with them. There's things that happen that you don't keep your word to yourself. What does that do to us? When we consistently do that, it tells our brain that we're not worthy, that we reinforce these thoughts that we have that are not true, by the way. They're not true. These are the things that you want are there for a reason. You want to get healthy. And let's talk about that for a minute. Why do you want to get healthy? I know why I want to be healthy is because when I am 85 years old, I still want to be walking and I want to be moving and I want to be keeping up with my future grandkids. When I am 85 years old, I want to be healthy enough to live on my own. When I am 90 years old, I want to be that old woman that everyone's like, man, what is her secret? Because she is happy and she can still get around and she's feisty. I want to be feisty when I am 90 years old. Those decisions are decided today. The decisions that we made years ago are what we're living out today. So when you tell yourself, you know what, I'll meal plan later. And I'm telling you this because this is what I have been wrestling with. There are some things that I know that would make my life easier. One is meal planning. Okay, these things that I'm examples. These are my real life examples. All right. I would like to work out. I was consistently going to Pilates. I love it. Every time I see the benefits of it, I am more flexible. I am stronger. All the things it's working. And things have shifted in the Pilates studio over the last couple of months. And now if you don't schedule 3 to 4 weeks in advance, you don't get into a class. Who knows 3 to 4 weeks in advance what your schedule is? Unless it's the 5 a.m. class, I don't know. And let's face it, I'm at a point, I don't want to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to get to the gym by 5. I don't want to do it. And so what I would do is I would put on a class at 5 o'clock because I know that knowing full well that I did not want to wake up at 4:30 to leave for class. And so then I would cancel it. And then I started making the excuses of, well, like, I just can't get to class. There's no classes in my time. But then I realized that they're not really excuses. Like, legitimately, the times that I'm available, those classes are full. The ones at first thing in the morning at like 7, they're full. The classes at lunch, they're full. The ones like late evening or early evening, like in between practices for the kids, they're full, which tells me I need to shift. And so then I was looking at, how do I work out? How do I get this? And well, then I would put, well, I'm going to go on a walk, or I'm going to go get on the treadmill, or I have a gym membership at the Y. I'm going to go to the Y. And I put it on my calendar and I push it aside. I realize I don't have time. It's a 20-minute drive there, 20-minute drive back. I don't want to get all sweaty because then I have a client, or I have a something to do, and then I'd have to shower and all of these. I give myself excuses, but I still put it on my calendar, knowing full well that it's something that I would like to do, but I'm not going to make it happen. When I do that, it tells myself that it's not, like, I can't keep my word to myself. My word is not my bond when it comes to me. I made a commitment probably a year ago that if I put it on the calendar, if I put it on the calendar, it's going to happen. I'm going to keep the word to myself. And I did, when I was intentional. The moment I stop being intentional, old patterns start coming back. And what does that tell me? It tells me that the desire to keep safe, to keep comfortable, to keep relaxed, to keep not in movement, overpowers what I want. That's when you get clear. It's important to see, what do you really want? And do you really want it? Are you willing to work for it? And what are you willing to do so that you can work for it? Do you really want it? Or was it something that you say you should want? Is it something that you really want? Or is it something that you should want? It looks good, it sounds good, but you're not actually willing to put in the effort to get it. And I had to get clear with myself that it's like, no, in order to be that 90-year-old feisty woman, I need to make those decisions today, which means that they need to be priorities today. And then like rewind to just right now in my present time. If I want to be a healthy person now, I need to take the steps now. In order to take those steps, I have to plan. In order to plan, I need to actually identify, what do I want and what do I not want? And do it. How many times have you put things on your calendar? How many goals have you made with in the back of your mind being like, I'll never achieve that? I want it, but I don't think I'm worthy of it. And so that is what I wanted to talk about today. That's what I wanted. I mean, honestly, I just wanted to call out and say, like, call myself out and give myself that like kick in the pants to say, okay, no, enough is enough. If I want the life of joy, if I want the balanced life, not the equal life, not the everything is in equal proportions, but the balance as in I have this portion is, my value, and whatever, if it's 60-40 of work and life, or life and work, or whatever it is, if the balance of I am hitting everything that's important to me in the appropriate amount of like priority that I deem it, that is balance. We can't live someone else's balance. We cannot live someone else's balanced life. We cannot do what someone else does and expect that it's going to fulfill us. If we don't stop to ask ourselves, do we really want this? We're going to continue to prove to ourselves that we don't, that we're not worthy, we're not capable of keeping our word to ourselves, that we're not putting ourselves as a priority. So all these things that we do, and let me just tell you that our brain loves to not make ourselves a priority. And let me make an even bolder step and tell you that the devil likes when you don't make yourself a priority. Because when you are feeling guilty or shameful or tired, exhausted, if you are not aligned with who God created you to be, and so you're not actually stepping into who, that purpose and that clarity and that calling, whatever it may be, if you are in a job that you're numb in and you don't see how there's balance, then you're not able to go after that next best thing, to go after that next step. And the devil doesn't have to do any more work. It's got you in a numb place, sitting in a holding pattern, waiting for, like last week, we talked about the stars aligning, but if we're not in action, if we don't intentionally prove to ourselves that we're worthy and that we're capable of making these changes, making these things happen, the devil's done with us. We don't have to worry about spiritual warfare coming up against us because we're right where he left us. He knows where to come get us if he needs us. He knows where to push us back down. He already knows that, we're so worried, we're so focused on self-sabotaging that it's not necessary to go any further. So it is so important to start building tiny habits where you say yes to yourself. You have self-integrity and you prove to yourself over and over that it's something that I want. You've looked at it and say, okay, what part of it do I want? Why do I want it? You've looked and you've made a sincere declaration that this is what I'm going for, whatever it may be. It may be a new ministry. It may be a new relationship or building a relationship and reinforcing a relationship. It could be building a business. It could be getting healthy. It could be starting to volunteer more. It could be getting a promotion in your job. It could be whatever I don't want to define that for you, but what I want you to sit and what more is there for you? What obedient step do you feel churning in your heart? Where is the Holy Spirit speaking to your heart saying, hey, Tammy, why don't you get in shape? Because when you are in shape, this is what will be better. This is what is coming for you. Get in shape because we have plans. Hey, Tammy, save money because there's an opportunity coming it's for you. And if you don't make those steps now, you're going to miss it. There's something stirring inside of you. The only way to truly know what that is to get quiet and to start recognizing who you are, what are your strengths. And by doing that, by recognizing these things that are going on inside of you, and then taking the action and proving to yourself that you're worthy, you're capable. And I think that that's what it is that if we don't keep our word to ourselves, then we're letting ourselves off the hook. Then we don't have to do those big things. We don't have to do those seemingly hard things or the challenging things, the things that we're uncomfortable with. And we can just stay in the comfortable fear and the discomfort of being comfortable and seeing everyone else. And it's crazy because when you are not in alignment, when you are not stepping into your calling, it's so crazy how many people you notice who are. You see them really stepping out, and I guarantee it's not easy for them. So don't think that even if it comes across as easy, they still are fighting their demons. They're still fighting their fears. They've just chosen to say yes to themselves, which in turn is saying yes to God. That's it. That's the difference, is they have chosen and acted on it. That's the difference between you and them and me and them. And that's the difference between what helps us stay in obedience and what just allows us to stay stuck. Where are you not keeping your word? And start small. Start small, but start. It is so important. If you want, and the Bible talks about those parables that, if you are given little, like those who do little are given little, those who do much are given much. It starts with saying yes in obedience and recognizing that when you say yes, that you are actually building that muscle of obedience. When you're saying yes to yourself, doing something, whether it's getting up at 4:30 in the morning to go and work out at 5, or saying, okay, no, I'm going to commit to myself that I'm going to use my Y membership that I'm paying for anyway. And I have more control over the time. So I can pick the time and say, go and go. That's it. I'm going to keep my word to myself. And I use these examples, but they lead to more. When you start building that evidence that you want something, you analyze it and decide, okay, is it like, use discernment. Is this something that I should be pursuing? Does it go along with the will of God? And there's ways to tell that. Maybe I'll do a podcast about that, like how to discern the voice of God when you have these things on your heart. But there's ways. And one is sound counsel. Go to the Bible, pray about it and ask for doors to be opened and closed. But there's some things that those doors are open. God is never going to tell you, no, go and eat all of that food, junk food. You don't need to take care of yourself. Your body, other people's bodies are temples, but you are okay just where you are. I know that you're running exhausted, taking care of everybody else. And so it talks about filling your own cup and how you go to God and his burden is light, but not for you. No, I want you to struggle and strive and you just keep working super hard. So those things that we need to get right in order to see the next step. Those are the things that are blocking us from seeing our calling and our clarity and the next step, because sometimes the very next step is saying yes to something you already know. Make it easy. You don't have to do it forever. Do it for one day, then do it for 2 days. Just do it for one more day. That's it. There's many things that I tell myself, okay, I get to choose. Am I going to do it for one more day? And I'm like, well, I'm on 6 days already and might as well make it 7. Yes, I'm going to do it for one more day. And then I get excited. And then I start marking it off on my habit tracker. And then I start recognizing that I'm like, okay, I'm actually doing for an entire week. I've said yes to myself. I have said yes to my intention to get healthy. I've said yes to my intention of saving money. I've said yes to my intention of building my relationship with my kids now that they're teenagers, and it shifts. Build that evidence for your brain. Build it. And when you do, those small steps start leading into bigger steps. But the key here is that you don't have to be scared of the bigger, because it becomes more natural and because it becomes easier, and you see, and you're building that momentum, you're building that motivation, you're building that desire to keep being obedient and to wanting that growth. You start getting that dopamine hit of, man, look at what I'm capable of, because I know you're capable. I know you are. You would not be listening to this if you were not capable, because this is not something that is, if you didn't want to grow, you're not going to listen to things about growing. If you didn't want to be obedient, you would not listen to things intentionally about being obedient. This is a choice that you made. Own it and embrace it. What can you do with it? What are you willing to do with it? Are you ready to act? Are you ready to take the very, very minute next step and say yes to yourself? What does that look like? Let's talk. Get on a call. Like, either email me, get on my calendar, DM me, and let's just say deeper. Let's go deeper with this and see what your personalized next step is. Because when you do discover that next step, and I guarantee it's not like you need to start a business, or you need to write a book, or you need to run a marathon, or you need to, start a garden. It is typically something that you can do in the next 30 minutes after the call. It's typically something that you need to do, and that one personalized next step will pull the string down and start unraveling all of these things that are the desires of your heart that align with God's desires of his heart. And it is really cool to watch. I love watching it and experiencing that and seeing how that affects people's lives. Seeing how families are impacted and workplaces are impacted and communities are impacted because someone was willing to say yes to themselves. So get on a call with me. Next month, I am opening my group again, and it's the Going Deeper. This is I've shifted it a little bit. It's 3 months. 3 months, and you are going to learn how to not only say yes to yourself, but what to say yes to and what to say no to. Where we look at, instead of just adding more things to your to-do list, we really look at, okay, what are your strengths? What are your fears? What is God, like, how has God created you, and what is he calling for you to do? And it's for those of you who are already feeling that, I know that there's something I need to do, whether it's in your family, whether it's in your work. You know that you work so hard and you're so good at your work, but you feel like you're not connecting with your family, or you're numbing out, and there's something there. There's a disconnect. There's no balance where there should be balance. There's no alignment. There's no integrated life where it should be integrated. You are not only your work. You are not only your family. You are not only you as a person. You are a blend of everything around you, and that whole self-care wheel. You get to intentionally look at it. And that's what we do in the group. And then we take a pathway, we take a specific journey, step by step by step, to figure out what you want, how to get it, and then start getting it. I want you in this group. I only want this. You want to be in this group. I want you if you want to. If you're questioning, if you're like, oh, I'm not really ready to take action, this is not the group for you. When you are tired of saying, okay, I'll wait until XYZ. How long has XYZ waited? How long have you been waiting for XYZ? How long have you been waiting for the conditions to be perfect, the stars to align, and things to look? And, like, I have someone who, she has been wanting coaching, and she messages me every month. And then I was like, hey, when you're ready? Oh, I have a project right now. Next month, I'll have more time. I want to challenge that. I have learned that I never have more time than I do right now. And I don't have a lot of time. But the thing is you don't know what's coming around the corner. But what you do know is that if you wait one more moment, you're going to wait one more moment, and one more moment, and one more moment. And then what? You're just going to wait. Where are you going to be in a year if you keep waiting? Where could you be in 3 months if you say a small yes to yourself now? The only way to get in the group is to get on a call with me, and we'll see if you're a good fit for it, because this is a group that I protect. The women in this group are ones who, they have such good hearts. They have such servant hearts, and they want to make an impact. And so the people that I want to join them in this are the same. They're moms and women who say yes to themselves, and because that means saying yes to God, which means saying yes to the impact and partnering in the calling that he has created for them. Creating a life of joy, that joy finds you instead of you running and searching and striving for it. If that sounds intriguing to you, get on a call with me. Let's chat. because I do have a few spaces available, and it starts again next month. I know school is going to be starting again and all of that, and we will work around that. I promise. But you don't want to miss it. This only opens every 3 months. That's it. Get on a call. If you don't know if this is right for you yet, let's chat. And I will be honest with you and let you know of, yeah, I think this will be great. Or, I don't think you're ready. It's not time for the investment yet, because it isn't an investment. One thing that I know to be true, there's so much free information on the internet, so much that's overwhelming. So much. If that was working for you, it would have worked already. But what I do know is when you can walk with somebody who has been there, who knows the path, and has I have the results for my clients, I have the results for myself, and I have the education and experience to help you get to where you want to go. That I know is worth the investment. If you're tired, I can get you there faster than if you try to go alone. Why? Because we can cut out all of the BS. We cut out all of the things that don't matter. We cut out all the expectations, all the guilt and the shame. We get down and dirty with, okay, what is necessary? Where is the best yes? What are your fears? What can we do to overcome them? And I have a very specific pathway to take you through to do that. So if this sounds intriguing to you and you are ready to make the investment in yourself, get on a phone call. If you think in the future you will be, and you're just intrigued and want to know more, get on a phone call. It won't hurt. We will help you. I will help you. It's me. I will get on the call with you, and we will find your next step. What a beautiful thing to have someone validate what your next step is. To know that you're on the right path and can confirm and say, hey, yeah, just do it. And you're going to feel amazing. So with that, I'm going to close now. I am so excited about this coming month. I'm excited about this week. I'm excited about where things are going. These last couple of weeks, I have really injected some inspiration and motivation and excitement into my life, simply by looking at what's going right and where are my opportunities. And something simple as that can change the way things go for you. Before I start a whole new rant, I'm going to stop here and get on a call with me. 20 minutes to find your personalized next step. It's that easy. All right, with that, bye for now.